when we have no sense of ourselves, then we can be brilliant at looking after other people. Often we don't realise that we're still living our adult life through the rules that somebody else has dictated or given to us. No, I am actually allowed to do things the way that I would like to do them. I am allowed to have choices for myself. I am allowed to express myself now. Always we start with ourselves. Am I living my life by someone else's rules? Hello everybody, I'm Catriona Morten. I'm a sensory-motor psychotherapist. And today, I'd like to look at why we struggle to put ourselves first. But before I jump into that, if you're enjoying these videos, then please give us a like and subscribe to the channel, because it honestly really helps us get our message out there to tons more people. Why do we struggle to put our own needs first? Like most things, this evolves from the environment we've grown up in, the kind of parenting we've had, the lived life experiences we've had. Now, if those experiences have been of our parenting, being very strict, telling us how we should be, how we should react to things, how we should feel about things, if our parenting has been that it's always the parents' needs that come first, that we have to do everything that we can to make our parents happy, which of course we do. We want to get praise, we want to do the right thing, we want to be good most of the time. And, if the consequences of showing up, expressing something have been that we get told off or humiliated, told wrong, shouted at, or just criticised, then we learn very quickly to just keep those things suppressed to ourselves, not show them. We also learn how to really read the room, read what's expected of us. And if the mood and the tone keeps changing, if for instance your parent's been a narcissist, then the rules change almost on a daily basis. It can be really difficult. One moment, this is okay and we'll get you praise, and the next moment, no, it's not okay. And so all our focus is on others. What's expected of us, how do we be good, how do we get praise, how do we do the right thing? And whatever the value system that our parents had, we will adopt that value system because we formed a bond, an attachment with them, and we want this relationship to be as good as possible. Children always think that whatever's going wrong, it's them that's causing it. And that will be really reinforced if they're told that the reason that the parent is this way is because of the way that the child is behaving. Of course we're going to believe that. Why would we not? Parents know best. They're the big grown-ups. So we'll take our cues and we'll learn what's expected, how we're supposed to feel, what's expected of us from the cues that are coming from our parents. This is doubly reinforced at school because we are very much told how to behave, what to do and when to do it. And that reinforces that behaviour, that belief that we have to obey and follow instructions. It's not about us, it's about what's going on out there. We're there to make other people happy, or we're there to try and give them what's expected, what's needed. And so we become completely unaware of what is the right thing for us. What do we really want to do? Because if that's been squished and suppressed, then we're just going to block it out. Or we're not going to be trained to kind of be curious about those things, to try different things. If we're told it's there and stay in your lane, oh well, we'll do that. And that can have a big impact on our imagination, our curiosity, and how to just kind of show up. A lot of children have had to be a carer. Maybe not permanently, but at certain times they've had to take care of their parent, or one parent, both parents, because there's either been illness or other things that incapacitate, just times when they've really had to really put their own needs to one side and care and think about, and being the one that's always trying to work out what's needed, take responsibility for things, and do that, really take that responsibility. And for those children, then, needs must, priorities must. And often those children really can't have any time for themselves, because if they were to, then it would be to the detriment of the carer or for the other siblings. Sometimes children have had to, if they're one of the older ones, feel a real responsibility to look after and take care of their siblings. And again, it just negates our ability to be able to think, oh, what would I like? Oh, I wonder what the best thing is for me. And when we have no sense of ourselves, then we can be brilliant at looking after other people. An awful lot of my clients are fantastic at, they'll be the first ones to step in, offer help, be there, just instinctively know what someone needs or what they would want or what they would like. They can be incredibly generous and imaginative when it comes to caring for others and also caring for their own children. But the only way that we know how to parent ourselves is the way that we've been parented, or the way that our life experiences, the lessons that we've learned along the way, well, that will determine our relationship with ourselves. And if I often say to some of my clients, okay, well, you don't apply those same rules to your children. It's fine for your children to be upset. It's fine for your children to express anger, but not you. No, it's different for me. Often we don't realise that we're still living our adult life through the rules that somebody else has dictated or given to us. And, it stands to reason, if we've never been able to really have a voice or express ourselves, then why would we even consider that it would be okay to make our own rules? And a lot of these things can be almost unconscious. We don't even know we're doing that until someone says, not necessarily a therapist, why do you always do that? Like, I don't know, it's just because I always do. And, the beginning that process of, is that the way you want to do it? Would you like it to be different? If you're doing things in a certain way and it's really driving you mad, what would be wrong with changing it? For some people, that process can feel like it's a bit disloyal. They're being disloyal or speaking out against the parents, and that can feel kind of wrong in some way. But when we can allow ourselves, when we can learn to make a bit of peace with that, to have some acceptance, no, I am actually allowed to do things the way that I would like to do them. I am allowed to have choices for myself. I am allowed to express myself now. And I'm not going to offend anybody, and nobody's going to come back at me and have a go at me for anything, because right now I'm in a room, I'm in my own. And we have to be able to start with ourselves, because we can't expect to just suddenly be showing up and having an opinion and expressing things to others. Because those little parts of us that have had different experiences all their life, they'll be terrified. We might think, right, I'm going to do that, but our body won't let us. Those little parts will just retreat. Suddenly, we don't have a voice. Suddenly, I can't think what I was even going to say, and I have no idea what I'm feeling right now, so I'll just shut up and retreat. We have to be able to do it with ourselves, to make it okay for ourselves. What do we like? What don't we like? What's our favourite colour? What's our favourite food? Why do you like that food? To really wake that curiosity and that consciousness up. So when you're eating that, what is it about that experience that you really like? If you like that, what about some other things that are similar? How do you choose your clothes in the morning? Is it just the first thing that comes out, or are you wearing clothes that would always have got you approval? Would you like to wear something different? And if you're worried about what people think, then just walk around in the house with it. Look at it. It's like, am I okay with this? Learning, what makes me tick? What are my preferences? Because until we know those things, what we like, what we dislike, what's good for us, what's not good for us, what's making us feel bad, and what's giving us joy, well then we can't have a boundary for anything, because if somebody's being mean and we're just never putting ourselves first, then that's always going to be okay. It's going to feel really difficult to say, do you know what, I'm really not comfortable when you do or say X, Y, and Z. If we don't feel like we've got a right to do that, and we know that that's intrinsically who we are and what makes us, tick and feel good and not make us feel uncomfortable, then we won't know where to begin with a boundary. Always we start with ourselves. Am I living my life by someone else's rules? What would I like to change? Blue sky thinking, think out of the box. How would I like my life to live? Even if it feels like that's impossible at the moment. If we can't imagine something, then it's really difficult to do it. And I always say, start with really little things. Start with really small things that are good. If we're living by somebody else's rules, how could we just make a different rule? It's not like breaking a rule. How can we make a different one for ourselves? Can we just change up the way we do things, change up our routine, or just our habits, our behaviours? So bring it back to yourself. Be creative, be curious, number one, and be accepting of the things that are coming up. The lessons that we've been learned, who does that voice sound like in your head? Just be curious, be accepting. Well, that's just the life lessons that I've learned, and these are the coping mechanisms and the strategies that I've evolved, aren't I brilliant, to deal with this. And so, we're never trying to work against ourselves. If we notice something, it's like, right, yes. Oh my goodness, yeah, that came from so-and-so. That sounds like so-and-so. How would you like it to be different? If it feels too difficult to do it, does it feel okay to just say it inside your head? Say it out loud, write it down. Just making it a little bit more real. Because if parts of us feel frightened or threatened by this process, we want to be small and gentle. So start with small things. So I hope that's been helpful, useful, interesting. If it has, then please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye-bye.